Hi everyone, my name is Peter Pikalski. Today we will continue with building financial model of a brick factory from scratch. And today we are starting a big story about the revenues. So if you find this video valuable, you may give us a like, subscribe, share this video with your friends. You can order financial models from scratch for your unique business idea. We can help you with that. And today I will start modeling the revenues. First of all, we have a very interesting story about the revenues. The first story is that we have bricks produced per month. So this is the amount of bricks that are being produced each month with their seasonality. But the issue is, for example, we may produce 8,000 bricks, but in November we can sell only 2,000 bricks, and all other bricks will go to warehouse, and we'll wait, for example, until June of the high season. For example, summer is the high season, and these bricks, part of these bricks that were produced in November, they will be sold in, for example, May, June, July. So that's why we have to create some seasonal algorithm for the warehouse and for the sales plan. So production plan is not a sales plan. That's why we have to create a new block of inputs that will deal with seasonality of sales. So let's start doing it. So sales plan. So this will be a sales plan seasonality. This will be a new block of inputs. So here I will place all the brick types that we have. I will just go up. Here on the right, from left to right, I will place months of typical year. Here
In this area, I will put
seasonality of
sales.
So this will be
The input. So I mark these cells with
specific color,
which goes with all our inputs.
and the percentages that I'll be using will be percentages of production plan. For example, in January we sell just 20% of our production plan. Then in February, for example, 30, then 50, then 70, for example, then 100%, then 150%, then, for example, 200%, then 150, 100, like this, for example. So this will be the seasonality. So now we have to apply this seasonality to the production plan and see whether we can sell 200% of what we produced in July or not, or we can in reality we can sell only, for example, 160%, because all these for example 80% of here, 70% of here, 50% of here must be enough, for example, to sell 200% in July of what we produced in July. So that's why our next step will be creating, I will just copy the timeline. Sales plan, seasonality. Step 1. Then we just put these values here. Now I will extrapolate these seasonality values to the right. Then we have to use this coefficient for our production plan. So what I will do, I will put equals, then use this seasonality coefficient, then I will move to production
and assign this coefficient to these values.
So now we have these coefficients, have them. But what is the so for example here we use this coefficient and see here that
we want to sell this amount of bricks, but in reality we may not have this amount of bricks in the warehouse. So we have to create some warehouse algorithm to make us see that whether we are able or whether we are not able to sell this amount of bricks, because here we can any values, but they must correspond with the real amount of bricks in the warehouse. We can place here 300%, 500%, but in reality, for example, we can sell only 120% of what we produced in this month plus warehouse. So that's why we have to create some algorithm for the warehouse. So and now let's create the algorithm for the warehouse.
So let me just write the formula for the first month, for the January, because the formula for the first month and formula for the second month will be, these two formulas will be different. So if production is more or equals to sales, this value with coefficient that were assigned, then we will take production minus what we sold, otherwise zero. So if for example we will have, if the sales plan will be more than we produced, then we will have zero in the warehouse. And the formula, so now let's write the formula for the February. Let's try it. Write it right for the just from the first attempt. If the warehouse plus what we produced minus what we sold, what we produced minus what we sold is more or equal to zero, then we will write this. If they are less than zero, then we have nothing in the warehouse. So now let's try to extrapolate this formula. So now let's see how it works.
So for example, here we have, if we have 150
coefficient, we still have something in a warehouse. Then in July, when we have 200% of what we produced, this means that we have nothing in the warehouse. So everything what was produced was sold. So now, dynamics for the warehouse.
So here we can see how the warehouse is growing. It's growing, and then
it's growing, and then it starts decreasing. The amount of warehouse starts decreasing here. So what we're going to do now? Now we have to calculate how many bricks we're going to sell using these warehouse algorithm. So now let's move to the sales plan, step 3, sales plan, step 3, step 3, I'll be writing formulas maybe slow because we have to create logical algorithms. So for the January, for the first month of our timeline horizon, the formula I think will be if warehouse will be more than zero, this means that we will put what we sold this month. So this is the first story. If warehouse will be equal to 0, this will mean that everything that we produced we will sell, not more. We will put here what we produced. So if the warehouse will have some value, this means that what we sold will be less that we produced, and then we will put what we sold. But if the warehouse will be 0, this means that we can produce only we can sell only what we can produce. So we will put here the value that we produced, the amount of bricks that we produced. Otherwise 0, I'm closing brackets. So this will be the formula for the first month. For the second month, I will go maybe here to find this moment, to create formula specifically for this, to describe this moment the right way. So if the first scenario, if this value of warehouse is more than 0, then we take is more than 0, then we can, this means that we can sell this value. If this value equals to 0, this means that we can't sell this amount. This means that we can sell only the amount of warehouse, that the amount of bricks that we have in warehouse. This is this amount plus the amount of bricks that were produced in this month. So we're going to production plan as this one. Otherwise we put here 0. So here you see we can't sell here 253,000 of bricks. We can sell only 215,000 bricks. I'm extrapolating this story to the left and to the right.
So how we can read this read this story? So for example, when we start, we have this amount of bricks. So this is the sales plan, but we sell only half of what we produce. So this means that we can so this is what we sold, this is the warehouse, this is the warehouse, that is what we sold. Then we can see how the warehouse is growing. This is the amount that we sold, because we have only we sell only 30% of what we produce, so the warehouse is growing. It's growing, and here we have in May we produced this amount. We produced the warehouse doesn't grow, and then here in June we start using the warehouse. So in June we can see that we can sell not 250,000 bricks, but we can sell only 215. In July we can sell only 190, so this not 380,000, so we just can sell what we produced. So if we go to July, we can sell only this amount. So despite of this coefficient that we assign to July, we can assign any coefficient here, but we can sell only the amount that we produce. The same story for August. We can't sell 316. We can sell only 211. So here we have 100% coefficient.
So this is what we produced, the same number we sold. Here we start, we see the warehouse started growing because we're going out of the season. And here we can see how the warehouse is growing. But on the next year we can see how the warehouse is growing. Here it is. So by the way, we can see, for example, we can create the diagram. It's okay. So I guess they wrote the right formulas, and now we can move to pricing and describe the way different types of customers pay us. Sorry for this video that it was too long, because I'm just doing it from scratch for you. You can just look at all the formulas. I hope this video is valuable for you. You may give us a like, you may subscribe, share this video. You can order financial models from scratch for your unique business ideas. We can help you with that. So see you guys in next videos. Thank you and bye.